All right, if you think about like the best band names of all time, that'd be a 10, and 0 would be the worst band names of all time. This is kind of the music episode. Where would you rank as a band name Arctic Frost? Arctic Frost is a band name. Mark.
I'm not good at this, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
I guess I fold when it comes to stuff.
Yeah. Matt,
Five, five.
Matt.
I would say if it was like the early 2000s when like
Yeah.
Arctic Monkeys and stuff were big, it'd be
Yeah.
closer to a
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Now it feels a little dated. I give it more like
Yeah.
a 4.
Yeah. See, I give it a 7. I like the sound of Arctic Frost.
It sounds like a breath
Here's
mint to me or something
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
thing, right?
yeah.
I'd use it.
Here's who doesn't like Arctic Frost. Republicans in Congress who feel that they were spied on. I've got a little bit of a problem with the word spied on, but doesn't mean something inappropriate didn't happen. Number 12, Rick Scott, Florida's Rick Scott, one of the many Republicans upset about this investigation. Here's his
Oh yeah.
tweet. I was just informed by Ron John, also known as Senator Ron Johnson, a Republican from Wisconsin, that I was targeted in the Arctic Frost witch hunt by Biden's DOJ. Let's be very clear. This was a targeted attack to dismantle the Republican Party, destroy me and other elected members of Congress, and take down President Trump. This is a complete weaponization of government and unconstitutional abuse of power by the corrupt Biden administration. I've seen this before. Biden's IRS released my tax records. Mark, is that true? I don't remember that.
I
Uh,
don't recall that.
yeah, all right. Clinton's DOJ came after me for going against Hillary Care. This is the same disgusting corruption.
He's been saying that since
Yeah.
1997.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Mr. Grassley, Mr. Ron John, for your work to hold the Biden administration accountable. Justice must be served. Everyone involved in this gross abuse of power must be held accountable. Now, I'll repeat the position I took on Charlie Kirk's program today. Anytime the executive branch investigates members of Congress, we should be wary because it can be an abuse of power. So that right away is the problem. Second is this seems to have been done with a pretty broad brush. However, it's not spying. You can say that the judge who approved it improperly, but they had a judge approve this. So it was legal. You might think it was unseemly. You might think the judge was crooked or misguided. But as far as we know now, I'll say that again. As far as we know now, this was not spying. This was not illegal. And Republicans are really out there
But
because
does spying mean it's illegal? I thought spying is just like a lowercase s like
I think
word
spying
that
means
means.
I think spying means
Huh.
illegal. I think spying
Huh.
means legal. In any event,
Okay.
is this the story not du jour but de week, or is this thing going to be a real issue going forward with hearings and disclosures and investigative?
I think it has legs. I mean, Rick Scott is a committed partisan, with the best of them. Don't get me wrong. At the same time, like, I've covered him long enough. Like, you can tell he's pissed off, and he doesn't frequently get pissed off at a lot of things. And so my guess is a lot of Republicans are going to react this way. They've wanted to give multiple enemas to the DOJ and FBI. Pam Bondi's doing that anyway. And I think this is just sort of more fluid for the flush here.
Matt Whitlock, will we be talking about Arctic monkeys in a few weeks? Arctic
Part of
frost.
what makes part of what makes me agree with Mark's point that this has legs is Chuck Grassley is a pretty serious person. He's, got a very long history of being one of the best advocates for whistleblowers from both parties, even when they've worked against Republican interests. And I think he's a pretty serious person right now. I think that the breadth of this is what is stressing people out, and the fact that it's one more example of how in the Biden era, emergency powers were pushed very, very far, whether it was January 6th, whether it was COVID, people reached very, very far beyond what you would normally presume to be acceptable authority. There are partisan voices in this that will lead a lot of media to dismiss it when you have, as Mark said, Rick Scott, Marsha Blackburn, Ted Cruz, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there's not a there to continue
Yeah.
diving into. And I think if
Yeah.
Chuck Grassley is involved, there's some level of seriousnness.
There you go. Well said. Again, I'm not against investigating this. I just don't want people to get ahead of their skis, as they say. Cozy Earth makes clothes viscose from bamboo, very comfortable, moisture wicking, magically keeps you warm when you are cold and cold when you cool you down when you're warm, temperature regulating. The bamboo sheets are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had. I recommend those, as you probably know, as well as the latest edition, the Bubble Cuddle Blanket. Luxurious combination of comfort and style. Recommend that. And then, of course, there are the shirts, the pants. The pants, once again, today happens not every day, but quite often. Someone texted me and said, Mark, I'm wearing the pants right now, and they look spectacular, and I look very good, but I feel very good. And then I always think of the Billy Joel line from Saturday Night Live. It's better to look good, my friend, than to feel good. But with the pants from Cozy Earth, you don't need to choose. Go to CozyEarth.com. Use my code 2way, 20% off for the best pants, joggers, shirts, everything. You get to at the end when you're buying something, they'll say, "Where did you hear about us?" Say you heard about them right here on 2way. Home isn't just where you live; it's how you feel. Let's go home with Cozy Earth. They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the 2way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America. And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and 2way tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.